Yeah. One phrase describes the problem, the human condition, the conflict, the insanity, and all the madness of isolation. Paradoxically, this one phrase also describes the solution, the reality. Ready? The observer is the observed. Now with this, shall we solve for the human condition? Our world is so enamored with the neuroses invented by itself. Let's define it. Self. An invention of the brain. Constantly doing something. Becoming something. Doing anything really. Rather than seeing itself for what it is. A loose collection of beliefs, attitudes, and opinions. Which is nothing. Self. Constantly criticizing and or defending itself from itself. Self. Always divided. The judge and the judged. One fake thing continually dividing into two in conflict with itself. I must be more generous. I must be less selfish. I must be something, says the judge, acting superior to the content judged to be inferior. Please. The observer is the observed. The judge is that which is judged. It's all self. It's a complete change never happens for humanity. How could it? Part of the problem is pretending to be superior, and that part won't be changing! Will it? Self. A fabrication at war with itself, and so within, so without. Witness a world at war. What's the solution? To see it. To see it patiently. Judgment-free is to be who you really are. That which is, and is aware, and is self-aware, and is not self. Is it two, or is it one? This reality. I'm looking at the depth of duality. And this vision is the extinction of that convention, that common belief system. Well, there's only two things in this world. Me and not me. I'm considering this to be a fallacy. A non-reality. I'm looking at the depth of duality. I'm looking to free everybody. So how to do this? Let's check in with a particle physicist. Excuse me, sir. What's your take on this? Tell me, please. What is this energy, your academic community, that industry, the science of polarity? Positive, negative, proton or electron? I mean, what is this energy we claim to be subatonically constituting all that is? All mass, particles, planets, your acts. Do we know? No? Alright, let's check in with a neuroscientist. Excuse me, miss, question. Where's the, in the brain I mean, the observer in consciousness? Not the self, not the ego, not that petty me, you know, that collection of beliefs, attitudes, and opinions humans carry and add to lovingly, and try to distance themselves from pieces of daily. I hear that may just be memory. The brain's invention, an in-house story, a neuro-networked fiction. My question, where in the brain, I mean, is this thing that takes a unified view of those 5 or more senses, of all that memory, of all that we do? Where's that thing that sees, judgment-free? Where is that purity, that is imagination, that is attention, that is there? In the beauty of a sunrise, where thought is not. Does that function in a lobe? A gland? Does the observer camp out in the hippocampus? Okay, do we know? No? Alright. What if the observer in consciousness rely on a mechanical feature of the brain's functioning whatsoever? What if this observer in consciousness, remember this, choiceless, opinionless, or more or less an energy field, capable of reading those electrochemical thought events of the brain? What if the energy field is you? Alright, now what if this field of energy, 21 grams roughly, are born of that same immeasurable body of energy that particle physics assigns to the duty of constituting all material reality? That energy. Maximum respect. But 21 grams, I want energy. What then? Do we see with a new radical definition, the observer is the observed? Do we see our relationship to all things? Are we looking at the death duality? Maybe the question's not who are we or what are we, but where are we? And are we lost in thought? I mean, who am I? That which observes. So where am I? Lost in the content, in those thoughts that are observed. Remember, that which is observed in consciousness is a kind of observer, a very wily, mischievous, nervous, ruthless observer, which is thought. And thought's not just observing, thought is judging. And changing costumes a moment later to be rationalizing, defending itself from attack, from essentially itself. It's a wild thing, thought, freaking out in its cage, biting its own arm, and gently cooing itself to sleep, stroking its pleasurable parts. Can you see it? Can you see it? Without judgment, that's you! Seeing. And that's love. You are free. In a way that may be the only freedom available to humanity. And the only freedom you'll ever need. Free to act outside the programming, the patterns, the petty games thought plays with itself, pretending to be you, playing at observering while you watch it, lost in thought. Can you see? Yeah? You are found. Let's hear it for the band.